Beijing is expelling a Canadian diplomat. It's in retaliation for Ottawa's expulsion of a Chinese consular official yesterday over allegations of foreign interference. The Canadian Security Intelligence Service has alleged Zhao Wei was involved in a plot to intimidate Conservative MP Michael Chong and his relatives in Hong Kong. Manisa Danabalan joins us with more on China's actions. Hey, Manisa.
Hey, Kelly. Experts say that the move isn't really a surprise because it was entirely expected that Beijing would deny its activities in Canada and in response retaliate.
Tensions are growing between Canada and China as Beijing expelled a Canadian diplomat in a tit-for-tat move, calling it a response to Canada's unreasonable actions.
针对加方无理行径，中方决定采取对等反制措施。
In a news conference today, a spokesperson for the Chinese Foreign Ministry said, based on lies, the Canadian government has taken wrong actions that seriously damage the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese diplomatic and consular personnel. China will never accept it. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau responded today saying,
"We understand there is retaliation, but we will not be intimidated, and we will continue to do everything necessary to keep our Canadians, keep Canadians protected from foreign interference."
The move by Ottawa came after a Globe and Mail report that CSIS had information in 2021 that alleged the Chinese government was looking at ways to intimidate Conservative MP Michael Chong and his relatives in Hong Kong. The federal government confirmed the report. Many say China's retaliation was expected.
The Chinese will act in a similar fashion with just about every country, but in the case of Canada, China has not shown much respect for Canada at all over the past several years, and so they want to take a tough position to signal to Canada that they will not tolerate Canadian criticism, which is not to say that we should suspend it.
Some fear there may be economic repercussions for Canada. Last year, China lifted a 3-year ban on imports of canola, which was imposed in 2019. The move happened after the detention of Huawei Technologies executive Meng Wanzhou in 2018 and Beijing's subsequent arrest of 2 Canadians on spying charges. All 3 were freed in 2021, but others believe it won't lead to further escalation or economic sanctions this time.
China has tightened its laws to give itself more authority to refuse exit visas for Chinese and non-Chinese people from China coming back to their home countries. Now that's happened before this, and that wasn't triggered by this, but they are opening up more opportunities for themselves to not put somebody under house arrest, a foreign national working in China, but refuse to approve their exit visa to go home.
And how will this feud between both countries go? We'll have to wait and see.
We will see what David Johnson, the special rapporteur, reports back in, I think, just a few weeks from now about whether there should be a public inquiry. So how this plays out will be determined in part by how that plays out.
Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly said the federal government will update its guidance to travelers if it perceives the risk to Canadians in China is rising higher than its current level.
The current travel advisory asks Canadians to exercise a high degree of caution in China due to the risk of arbitrary enforcement of local laws. Both diplomats in both countries have 5 days to leave.